You may have spent years watching the birds in your backyard. Every morning, a northern cardinal perches on a tree branch. A few sparrows hop from one flower bed to another, and a hummingbird hovers gracefully among the colorful blossoms. The scene feels so familiar that you might think you already understand their little world. But there is one astonishing truth that most of us have never stopped to consider. The birds have never been looking at the same backyard that we see. When a bird lands on your feeder or rests on a wooden fence, it is experiencing a completely different world. A world filled with invisible colors, hidden patterns across leaves and flower petals, and countless details that human eyes simply cannot detect. That means the backyard you lovingly care for every day is far more alive and extraordinary than you have ever imagined. To a bird, every flower carries a message. Every seed reveals its quality. Every shrub can offer a safe hiding place or warn of hidden danger. Even the people who walk through the garden leave behind visual clues that birds can recognize. Perhaps the hardest part for us to believe is that humans naturally assume the world we see is reality itself, but nature has never been that simple. Bees can see invisible patterns on flower petals. Some snakes can sense heat in complete darkness. Many deep-sea creatures produce their own light. Birds live in a hidden world just as remarkable. Scientists have discovered that a bird's eyes are built very differently from our own. They can perceive parts of the world that humans are completely unable to experience. And that first secret may forever change the way you look at the birds visiting your backyard. The strange thing is that this first secret is not hidden in some distant corner of the world. It is right there in your backyard at this very moment. The only difference is that human eyes have never been able to see it. Humans experience the world through 3 types of color receptors, allowing us to distinguish millions of different shades. We admire the blue sky, the rich green leaves, and the brilliant red feathers of a northern cardinal, believing we are seeing nature in all its beauty. But birds are different. Scientists have discovered that most songbirds possess 4 types of color receptors. The 4th allows them to see ultraviolet light, or UV light, a part of the spectrum that is completely invisible to human eyes. Imagine stepping into your backyard tomorrow morning and suddenly discovering an entirely new color. Ordinary flowers would glow with hidden patterns. Leaves would no longer appear as a single shade of green, but as countless subtle variations. Even tree bark, garden stones, and fresh winter snow would reveal details you had never noticed before. For birds, this is not magic. It is simply the way the world has always existed. Even more remarkable, the birds visiting your backyard see one another through this hidden layer of color. The bright red feathers of a northern cardinal are not simply red. They reflect ultraviolet patterns that help other birds judge health, strength, and even the quality of a potential mate. Sparrows, goldfinches, and many other backyard birds carry similar hidden signals. Perhaps for years, you believed you were seeing the true beauty of the birds visiting your garden. But the truth is that you have only been seeing part of the picture. And what is even more extraordinary is that the flowers growing in your backyard are using the same hidden world of color to communicate with birds every single day, in a language that human eyes have never been able to read. If the idea that birds can see ultraviolet light is surprising enough, the next discovery is even more extraordinary. That hidden world of color does more than help birds recognize one another. It transforms your entire backyard into a giant map filled with invisible messages. Take a closer look at a flower in your garden. It could be a daisy, a patch of wildflowers, or one of the bright blossoms visited by hummingbirds. To us, they are simply beautiful flowers that add color to the landscape. But to a bird, every flower is like a glowing signpost. Under ultraviolet light, many flowers reveal special patterns that point directly toward their nectar. Some display bright lines leading to the center, while others have bold circles marking the exact location of pollen. These signals are completely invisible to human eyes, but to hummingbirds and many other birds, they are as clear as arrows pointing the way. This means that when a hummingbird flies into your backyard, it is not searching at random. It is reading directions that nature has written over millions of years of evolution. Every flower seems to say, "Land here, the reward is waiting for you." And flowers are only part of the story. Berries growing on shrubs, seeds inside your bird feeder, and many other plants carry their own visual signals that birds can recognize instantly. What looks like an ordinary seed to us may reveal valuable information to a bird about its freshness, quality, and nutritional value. Perhaps the most remarkable part is that your backyard has never truly been silent. It has been communicating with its feathered visitors all along in a colorful language that human eyes cannot read. Yet even this extraordinary ability may not be the strangest one birds possess. Many scientists believe that as a bird flies across your backyard, it may also be able to see something completely invisible to us, the Earth's magnetic field itself. If hidden colors and secret messages written on flowers are astonishing enough, the next discovery is even harder to believe. Many scientists think that some birds can do more than simply sense the Earth's magnetic field. They may actually be able to see it. Imagine a tiny sparrow leaving your backyard at the end of autumn. It flies across forests, open fields, rivers, mountains, and even vast stretches of ocean. Months later, when spring arrives, that same bird returns to almost the exact place where its journey began. For centuries, people have wondered how such a small creature could navigate with such incredible accuracy. The answer may lie within its eyes. Scientists believe that many birds possess special molecules inside their retinas that react to the Earth's magnetic field. Instead of seeing only trees, clouds, and the stars above, they may also perceive an invisible layer of information spread across the landscape, almost like a natural compass that is always guiding them in the right direction. This means that the northern cardinal or little sparrow visiting your bird feeder may have completed a journey of hundreds or even thousands of miles using a navigation system unlike anything humans have ever possessed. When you look at a small bird in your backyard, you are not simply looking at a beautiful creature. You are looking at a remarkable explorer, one that can read the hidden signals of our planet in ways we are only beginning to understand. Yet the most surprising part is that this extraordinary ability to navigate may not even be the greatest advantage birds have. Their eyes do much more than help them find their way across the world. They also allow birds to see their surroundings with a level of sharpness and detail far beyond anything most humans could ever imagine. After learning that birds can see invisible colors and may even use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate, you might think you've discovered the limits of their remarkable vision. But the truth is even more extraordinary. Birds do not simply see more than we do. They often see the world with far greater clarity and detail. Imagine a small sparrow perched on your bird feeder. From a surprising distance, it can notice the slightest movement of your hand, detect a tiny insect crawling along a tree branch, or spot a potential predator before danger is anywhere near. To us, the bark of a tree may look like nothing more than a rough brown surface, but to a bird, it is a landscape filled with tiny cracks, hidden insects, patches of moss, and countless details that could mean the difference between finding a meal and going hungry. Their field of vision is remarkable as well. While humans must turn their heads to see what is behind them, many birds can observe nearly everything around them at once. This wide view helps them avoid predators and react to danger in a fraction of a second. That may explain why a bird often flies away just as you step into your backyard. In reality, it probably noticed you long before you noticed it. Even more fascinating, the birds that regularly visit your yard are not simply remembering where to find food. They remember the locations of feeders, bird baths, safe branches, and the best places to hide. And there is a good chance they remember you, too. The person who walks into the garden each morning to refill the feeder, clean the bird bath, and care for the flowers may have become a familiar part of their daily lives. Perhaps that is why a cardinal or a sparrow sometimes pauses for a few extra seconds, tilts its head, and seems to study you before flying away. It may not simply be looking at your backyard. It may be looking at you. And that leads to one final and beautiful question. If birds can see, remember, and understand so much about the world around them. What does the backyard you have created truly mean to them? After learning that birds can see invisible colors, read hidden messages on flowers, and even recognize familiar faces, perhaps it is time to look at your backyard from an entirely different perspective. Imagine that you are a small bird landing in your garden for the very first time. The bird feeder is not simply a container filled with seeds. It is a reliable source of food that has been carefully remembered. The bird bath is not just a decoration. It is a place to drink, bathe, and keep feathers clean and healthy. The colorful flowers are more than beautiful plants. They provide nectar, seeds, insects, and valuable shelter. Tall trees offer safe places to rest, while dense shrubs become hiding places whenever danger appears. Every time you refill a feeder, replace fresh water, or plant another native flower, you are helping far more creatures than you may realize. To us, these may seem like simple gardening tasks, but to a bird, your backyard could be a safe haven, a dependable food source, and a welcome resting place during long and difficult journeys. Perhaps that is why so many birds return to the same backyard year after year. And that leads to the final and perhaps most beautiful secret of all. What if the birds visiting your backyard do not simply remember this place? What if, in their own remarkable way, they remember you as well? After discovering all of this, it becomes difficult to look at your backyard the same way again. Every morning, when a northern cardinal lands on a branch or a sparrow hops around your bird feeder, it may be experiencing a world far richer than anything human eyes could ever perceive. The wonderful part is that you helped create that world. The flowers you planted, the fresh water you keep available, and the seeds you place in your feeders do far more than simply make your garden beautiful. To birds, they are signs of safety, dependable sources of food, and peaceful resting places after long and challenging journeys. Perhaps many of the birds visiting your backyard are not simply passing through. They return because they remember this place. They know where the feeder is, which branches are safe, and where fresh water can always be found. And perhaps they remember you as well, the person who steps into the garden each morning to care for the plants and refill the feeders may have become a familiar part of their world. That may be why a bird sometimes pauses for a few extra seconds, tilts its head, and seems to look directly at you before flying away. Perhaps the most astonishing thing is not that birds can see invisible colors, read hidden messages written on flowers, or navigate by using the Earth's magnetic field. It is that two completely different worlds can meet in the very same backyard. The next time you stand quietly and watch your feathered visitors, remember that they may be watching you, too, with eyes refined by millions of years of evolution.